This is Chaos Domain on PC Steam. This is like a 2D platformer run and gun. It's pretty much like Contra, but not as good. The controls are pretty floaty in this. You have to play with a controller. I mean, that's really how they want you to play the game, and that's how it's best played. You can see the platforms that you're jumping on and running on here. There are certain points when you're jumping, you kind of float over them. Like that's why I say the controllers are floaty. You feel like you kind of float past things. You can see it's kind of difficult for me to jump on that barrel there because the controls are funky. They're not very precise. It's a little difficult to get used to, but you do get used to it. It's not. I guess it's just the way they want you to play the game. Fine, but I would definitely have preferred better controls, more stiffer controls. This is one bad point of this game. You take one hit and you die. There's upgrades you can buy later that do different things, like a shield, so you can take 2 hits and you can upgrade your guns. However, I feel the upgrade system is really broken. I'll show you that later. In this game, you pretty much move with the stick. You run with the stick. You shoot, jump, and then you have like an upgrade button. You use your upgrades because you buy them with money that you get throughout the game. And there's kind of like uses to the gun, so you have to kind of grind a lot of stages to be able to have a stockpile of weapons. Each stage has a few of these, like those onks you can pick up that give you extra money or points that will give you more money at the end of the stage. So that's why you're kind of running around trying to pick them up. The health packs give you an extra life if you died, or if not, they give you more points, which gives you more money at the end. The levels are level design in this is so boring. This one stage you just saw is pretty much the entire game. I've played for about 2.5 hours of this, and I haven't beaten the last stage yet, so I don't even know what the last boss looks like. But every stage is this, like in a warehouse or some kind of building, where it's either gray or green. There's some reds from when you shoot red barrels and they explode, and there's a little bit of blue. The color palette is drab. It's just boring. Even the enemies are boring. You can see this right here, how glitchy that hammer comes down. It's not even fluid. It's just one thing it talks about in the game. The enemies are real boring. You have a guy that shoots straight. You have a guy that shoots like a spread. You have those bomb guys you just saw a little bit ago. This guy that just runs at you. And then you have some bosses, obviously. The bosses are really boring. They have patterns that you can see right away. They're very easy to kind of guess what the pattern is. Nothing really challenging about them. I will show you the first boss coming up. Some of the later bosses, like they throw a barrel at you and you have to shoot the barrel back to them. It's just boring. I hate to bash a game made by made by a few, a handful of people, but the game just doesn't do good. You think after like what 20 years after Contra, someone has perfected the formula of this, side-scroll platformer shooter, and they don't even know what the equation is for Chaos Domain. So it's pretty sad. You can play split screen with someone, which adds some fun to the game, which is probably the only fun to this game. It's hard to say that a game sucks when you're playing with with a good friend on the same screen. That's the only fun you'll get out of this game. I would definitely not recommend this game to anyone. Even if you love Contra, or like, oh, I love every game like Contra. You don't love this game, trust me. It's really repetitive. It's not fresh. It doesn't put a new spin on it. It's not even like you're playing Contra. It just is such a different equation, with the controls being so floaty and not precise, the enemies being boring, the bosses being somewhat predictable and easy. The upgrade system sucks. I can just go on and on and on. This is the last boss right here. You see this guy with the grenades that shoots at you. That's one of the enemies. One of like the 6 enemies in the game. It's just it's a sad game. It's really sad. I hate to say it's bad, but it is. I would not recommend Chaos Domain to anyone. Don't pick this up. If it's part of a bundle, maybe install it to say, yeah, I played it, but there's not, at this point in time, there's not even trading cards. There's really no reason to play this game at all. Chaos Domain on Steam, stay away from it. I'm pretty pissed I spent 2 hours of my life playing this game. I would stay away.